This is Story Recapped. Today I'm going to explain an action, horror, and sci-fi film called Alien vs. Predator. Spoilers ahead, watch out and take care. In 1904, a man runs and hides in an empty pub. Something materializes behind him and shoves him. The being brandishes blades, but another creature appears and attacks. A century later, the Wayland Corporation satellite detects heat signals from a supposed barren area. In Nepal, environmental technician Lex Woods climbs a cliff when she receives a call from Max Stafford. Max's employer offers her organization funding if Lex meets with them tomorrow. Lex notes that she can't make it, given her current location, but when she reaches the top of the mountain, Max is already there with a helicopter. In Mexico, archaeologist Sebastian de Rosa digs into an ancient ruin and finds a soda bottle cap. His employer mocks his discovery and fires his team. Unwilling to give up, Sebastian tells his assistant, Thomas Parks, to hold the team while he requests funding from the bank. When Sebastian reaches his tent, he finds Max inside, offering him a job. Soon, Lex rides the helicopter with chemical engineer Graham Miller, who eagerly documents the trip for his sons. After reaching the icebreaker ship, Miller fiddles with the heavy equipment, but one of the mercenaries, Mark Verheiden, yells for him to leave. Finally, Max introduces the team to CEO Charles Wayland. Charles notes that his satellite detected a mysterious heat signature beneath the Earth. He shows them the thermal mapping that suggests an underground pyramid. His experts link the structure to different cultures, and Sebastian claims they were all correct, adding that the pyramid may be the first one ever built. With the structure being 2,000 feet under Bovituia Island, the head of the drilling team, Rustin Quinn, calculates that it'll take 7 days to dig through it. Lex suggests 3 weeks to train the team to survive the location, but Charles refuses to wait in fear of others discovering the structure. Lex argues that they're not ready for the expedition, since Bovituia Island is one of the most isolated areas in the world, but Charles insists that it's worth the risk. Unamused, Lex refuses the job. While Lex is packing her bag, she asks Max who will replace her. She later confronts Charles, telling him that their new guide is inexperienced. Lex defends that people will get hurt if they rush the expedition, but Charles isn't worried. That evening, while watching the Northern Lights, Sebastian asks if they have better chances of survival with Lex or a replacement. This makes her reconsider. Somewhere in outer space, a ship powers up near Earth, shooting a beam of light into the planet. The next day, since she had no time to train them, Lex stresses for the team to follow her rules to keep them alive. Afterward, she approaches another mercenary, Adele Rousseau, who's loading her gun. Rousseau explains that she doesn't intend to use the gun, but she's bringing it just in case. The team heads out in snow vehicles. On the way, Lex notices Sebastian's bottle cap, which he wears like a charm. Soon, they reach an abandoned whaling station where they set their base. Lex explains to Sebastian that the residents of the whaling station mysteriously disappeared. Meanwhile, Miller starts taking photos in the old pub when he hears movement. He follows the sound worriedly and turns to clattering behind him but finds nothing there. When he turns again, Lex is there, reminding him that no one is supposed to wander alone. Still, Miller is wary of the sounds, only to find a penguin waddling around. Later, they find a perfectly shaped tunnel leading to the pyramid despite satellite footage showing that it wasn't there yesterday. While preparing to go into the tunnel, Lex checks on Charles and finds him breathing into a concealed tank. She warns him against joining the expedition, but Charles stresses that when one's sick, they consider how their life will be remembered. Lex shares that, during a summit, her father broke his leg but refused to stop. They reached the top and shared champagne. However, a blood clot from his leg reached his lung and he suffered for 4 hours before dying. Still, Charles concludes that her father's last memory was sharing champagne with her on a mountain, not the pain. Soon, Lex leads the team down the tunnel. A tarp is blown into the pulley system, causing it to jam and release Charles. He falls until Lex stabs a pickaxe into his hood. As they descend, the spaceship flies over the base and releases 3 pods that deliver the armed predators. The team reaches the cavern at the end, but finds no sign of another team who could have dug the tunnel. They illuminate the area and view the pyramid for the first time. Charles marvels at it, thanking his team for making history with him. The team enters the pyramid, where Lex notices a reptilian carving near the entrance. Someone steps on a trigger that opens a lower chamber where chains hoist up a massive queen alien while electric shocks revive her. On the surface, a man from the drilling team hears growling and gets attacked from behind. His team hears his screams and pulls out their guns, but a transparent creature slays them. When Quinn arrives at the scene, he finds this man hanging by their feet. Suddenly, he spots a bloodied invisible blade, so he flees and finds more bodies hanging by their feet. Quinn grabs his gun and shoots the predator above him, destabilizing its cloaking mechanism. It descends and overpowers Quinn until he falls into the tunnel. The team enters a sacrificial chamber where they find remains set around an alien disc. Sebastian examines the remains and notes that they were unbound and died willingly. Thomas translates the carvings on the sacrificial tables, claiming that the chosen ones gave their lives to start the hunt. Rousseau points out a corpse's opened ribcage, noting how the bones are bent outward as if something broke out from inside the body. Beneath them, the queen alien lays eggs, which are transported via a conveyor belt. Soon, Quinn wakes up covered in ice in the cavern. The predators arrive, so Quinn stays still, unnoticed as they pass by. However, the third predator finds him and kills him. The team splits up, with one moving to the next level while the other, including Rousseau and Thomas, stay to document the sacrificial chamber. The others reach the level below, where they find a sarcophagus with a combination lock. Sebastian notes that the locks correspond to dates currently set for 1904, so he changes it to the current date. The sarcophagus opens, and they find 3 plasma guns inside. Charles starts coughing, so Lex orders everyone to return to base. Charles agrees and orders Max to take the guns to test them. Sebastian warns them against it, but the mercenaries take the guns, and the sarcophagus closes. Detaching their activity, the predators rush inside the pyramid. The door in the lower chamber closes and another set of stairs opens. At the sacrificial chamber, the doors also close, trapping everyone inside. From the tables, alien eggs are raised and start opening, so Rousseau prepares her gun. The creatures inside leap into the air and grab the humans' faces. Hearing their muffled screams, the others try to radio them but get no response. Lex hurries them to return to the surface while the mercenary team brandishes their weapons. With only the stairs open, they head down. Moments later, Rousseau wakes up with a dead facehugger next to her. She finds the rest of the team with a facehugger still attached to them. Suddenly, she feels something inside her chest. She starts to bleed as an alien breaks out of her body. Soon, the predators reach the sarcophagus and find the weapons missing. Meanwhile, the surviving team heads down a hall lined with statues. Lex recognizes the weapons on the statues' shoulders as the same ones from the sarcophagus. Unknown to them, a predator watches them and locates the weapons in the mercenaries' bags. One mercenary walks into an invisible noose that pulls him up. The others only notice when he drops his gun. The team searches around until the predator launches a spear into another mercenary. The men open fire, but the walls and floors suddenly move. They watch the predator leap across unharmed, while they scatter to escape the moving walls. One mercenary falls into a hole on the floor while Lex takes the rest on a different path. Miller eventually finds Verheiden, but they get separated from the rest. Finally, the pyramid stops shifting. The trapped mercenary panics as he searches for a way out. He accidentally falls into a tunnel where he drops his gun. A screeching noise echoes around him, so he retrieves his gun but finds it covered in slime. Finally, something attacks from above. Meanwhile, Charles finds one of the dead mercenaries and marvels how the alien weapon he carried wasn't damaged. Max castigates him for focusing on that instead of their fallen comrade. Sebastian's watch starts beeping as he theorizes that since the Aztec calendar in the sarcophagus is based on multiples of 10, the pyramid may shift every 10 minutes. Just as he predicted, a door opens up. Verheiden and Miller also find a newly opened door, so they enter to find a way out. While Miller continues forward, Verheiden locates his comrade's gun, then hears something screeching. He takes the gun but falls into a trapdoor, breaking his leg. Miller finds him, but the trapdoor closes. An alien looms in the darkness, so Verheiden takes his guns to fight. However, 2 more aliens corner him, and Miller hears him scream just before a 4th alien captures him as well. Meanwhile, the other team walks through a hallway when Charles drops the plasma gun, heaving his breath. Lex tells him to leave the weapon as it slows him down, but Charles insists on not leaving empty-handed, so Lex carries it instead. A predator suddenly shoots a net at Max. When the others try to pull the net off, they realize that it's razor sharp and continues to tighten around him. The predator approaches, and Lex tries to fight it off, but it throws her back. It knocks out Charles and holds Sebastian by the neck. As it does, it stabs Max, killing him. Lex goes for her axe, but another predator kicks her. The predator brandishes its blades to finish her, but an alien stabs it from behind. Lex watches as the alien lifts it and kills it with its inner jaw. The other predator releases Sebastian to battle the alien. The alien tackles it down and claws its armor. While they're fighting, the humans flee. The predator kicks the alien off and brandishes its blade, but the alien grabs the predator's leg, knocking it down before jumping over it. However, the predator cuts its tail, spraying its corrosive blood that damages its blades. The predator tackles the alien and slams it against the pillars before throwing it. The alien sprays its blood, damaging the predator's armor, so it removes it. Suddenly, the alien disappears. As the predator searches for it, the alien jumps from above but gets caught by the predator's net and crashes into the lower floor. While the predator aims for the kill, the net cuts through the alien's shell, causing it to bleed. Its blood soon breaks the net, allowing it to tackle the predator and kill it. The surviving trio rushes to escape but stops when Charles struggles to breathe. Suddenly, the last predator approaches, so Charles tells them to go without him. Sebastian pulls a reluctant Lex away while Charles brandishes an axe. The predator easily deflects his attacks and holds him by the throat. However, when it detects his lung cancer, the predator releases him. Still, Charles defiantly uses his oxygen tank and flare to throw flames at it. Pissed, the predator kills him. The pyramid starts shifting again, so Lex and Sebastian climb over a closing passage. Lex exits, but Sebastian struggles to crawl through the narrowing path. When he reaches the end, the predator throws a blade at his head, forcing Sebastian to drop. Suddenly, a facehugger leaps for the predator, but it slices it in half. Another alien emerges from the shadows to attack, but the predator quickly cuts its head off. Lex finds an opening where they watch the predator use the facehugger's leg to carve a mark on its helmet and forehead. Sebastian recognizes this as a warrior's rite of passage. When they turn away, another facehugger attacks the predator. Sebastian theorizes that the pyramid serves as an arena for the young predators to prove themselves. Based on the hieroglyphics, the predators discovered Earth thousands of years ago and were worshipped as gods. Every century, humans were sacrificed to breed their prey for the predators to battle. However, one day, too many aliens were created, overwhelming the predators, so they triggered a bomb to wipe out everything, ensuring that the aliens could not spread. Elsewhere, Miller wakes up, trapped on a wall next to Verheiden's body. An alien egg opens up, so Miller pries his hand free to reach Verheiden's gun. The facehugger leaps and Miller shoots it in time. However, more eggs open, so Miller shoots until he's overwhelmed. Meanwhile, Lex suggests returning the gun to the predator to fight the aliens. When Sebastian disagrees, she stresses that they may not make it out, but they must ensure that the aliens don't reach the rest of the world. After the pyramid shifts again, Lex and Sebastian search for the predator but run into an alien instead. They race away and reach a broken bridge. Sebastian jumps to the other side, but the bricks collapse under Lex's steps. Sebastian grabs her before she falls, but the alien captures him, leaving Lex behind. When Lex climbs over, she only finds Sebastian's bottle cap. Lex ventures on her own but ends up at a dead end. The predator finds her, so Lex tearfully begs it not to attack and offers the weapon. An alien appears behind the predator and tackles it, causing the predator to drop its spear. The predator throws the alien aside, but it leaps towards Lex. Lex takes the spear and stabs the alien. The alien swings its tail at her, but she dodges until it stops moving. Lex holds on in fear, but the alien wakes up and tries to reach her with its tongue before succumbing to its wounds. Lex sees that the predator has installed its weapon in its armor. It detects aliens from afar and shoots them. Suddenly, the queen screeches and the hidden, scarred alien returns to her. The predators retrieve its spear and turns away, but Lex insists on joining it. The predator carves the skull of the alien she killed, then breaks its fingers to show how its blood is corrosive to everything except its own shell. The predator creates a shield for Lex using the alien's skull and a spear using its tail. Meanwhile, a group of aliens return to their mother and begin wounding her to make her bleed onto her chains. While tracking down the aliens, Lex enters the chamber full of alien eggs and gasps upon finding Miller's corpse. She picks up Verheiden's gun from the ground and follows coarse breathing until she sees Sebastian. She tries to free him, however he tells her that the alien is already inside him. Sebastian reminds Lex that the aliens can't reach the surface, so she tearfully takes the gun and shoots him. The alien inside him still bursts out, so the predator grabs it and breaks its neck. Beneath them, the queen finally frees herself. The remaining eggs in the chamber open up, so the predator activates a bomb before leading Lex out of the pyramid. Upon reaching the lifts, another alien attacks the predator, so Lex shoots it with the drilling gun. However, more aliens arrive, so she and the predator hop on the lift, speeding up the tunnel just as the pyramid explodes. The blast sends a shockwave that destroys the whaling station, so they run as everything collapses. When the coast is cleared, the predator removes its helmet, revealing its face to Lex. Using a severed alien finger, the predator creates the warrior's mark on her face for helping it defeat the aliens. Suddenly, the queen bursts out of the ice. The predator throws its weapons at her, but she knocks it back with her tail. Before the alien can stab the predator, Lex stabs her with her spear. Lex runs across the whale skeletons as the alien breaks through. She reaches the tank and crawls under. The alien breaks the structure to reach her, but the predator leaps up and stabs the alien in the head. Lex notices the alien's chains, so she and the predator pull them to attach to the tank. However, once Lex ties the chain, the alien stabs the predator in the stomach. Lex grabs a shovel to unhinge the tank, finally sending it and the alien into the icy waters. Lex checks on the dying predator when others materialize along with their ship. Seeing her warrior's mark, the predators spare her and take their fallen comrade. The leader gives Lex its spear, then heads to the ship to leave the planet. As they're returning home, the fallen predator rests on a table when an alien bursts out of its chest.
Subscribe to watch more videos like this. Turn on notifications. And leave a like, it really helps the channel out. Thank you for watching.